I was a white, cis, Christian Trump supporter. They described in great detail how I would be killed in an open field just like Charlie, how much blood would come out of my head and neck when it was blown off. This individual described orphaning my 4 beautiful children and widowing my wife. Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you, officers. 1 month ago today, I witnessed my friend of 10 years, someone who I considered a brother, a loving husband, a devoted father, a generational leader, get assassinated on a live stream by a left-wing radical. Approximately 1 year ago, I witnessed the President of the United States get shot in the head by a left-wing radical, who also took the life of a Trump supporter in front of his daughters and wife. 2 months ago, Christian children kneeling and praying in a church were slaughtered by a left-wing extremist. And 2 weeks ago, federal law enforcement was shot at multiple sniper rounds in a federal facility by a left-wing extremist. If it's happening every single week, is it that extreme? Or has the Democrat Party mainstreamed violence as a political tool? The individual who wrote me described why he wanted me dead. I was a white, cis, Christian Trump supporter. They described in great detail how I would be killed in an open field just like Charlie, how much blood would come out of my head and neck when it was blown off. This individual described orphaning my 4 beautiful children and widowing my wife with great joy. You might want to say, another left-wing radical, another extremist. And to that, I would like to direct your attention to the state of Virginia, where Democrats have nominated and are about to vote for the chief law enforcement officer in that state, a man who has done the exact same thing. An individual who's calling for the assassination by bullets of Republicans that he disagrees with. The killing of their children. The slaughtering of, as he says, little fascists. Are my 4 innocent, beautiful children little fascists? Violence has been mainstreamed by the Democrat Party. It is not extremist, it is mainstream. And we need a moment of reckoning here. This has to stop. This cycle must end. Is any Democrat courageous enough to disavow violence? To call for individuals that espouse these things, like what happened to my family, or what's happening in Virginia, to call for those kind of candidates to step down? Will Democrats vote for that? Because if you're voting for that, then implicitly you're encouraging it, you're endorsing it. I don't want political violence. I want peace in my nation. I love this country. I want to be able to debate like Charlie did. I want to be able to raise my family in peace. That is our birthright. But you cannot make peace with evil as a Christian. You cannot unite with people who want you dead. I want unity in this nation. I want to be able to agree on more than what we disagree on. But for that first to happen, we must understand the battle. We are fighting good versus evil, darkness versus light. And good must conquer evil. Do not make peace with evil. To that end, and in conclusion, I would like to thank federal law enforcement, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, the FBI, the DOJ, the Tampa Police Department, the detectives here, with absolute pinpoint accuracy, professionalism, courtesy, swift and tact. They were able to act instantly in order to make sure that my family was safe, potentially to preserve the lives of my children, and they're doing that for families all around the country in many different ways. Every American should unite behind that cause. No matter who you are, you should say, this is a country where families should be able to raise their children safely, where people can have peaceful disagreements, and where we can all live together under one American flag. I just want to profoundly thank the Trump administration and federal law enforcement and local law enforcement for saving my family. I will never forget it. It is the greatest goodness that has ever been done to me. And that is a thing that every American can get behind. The Trump administration making America safe again. God bless them.
Benny Johnson spoke at a press briefing on Friday alongside Attorney General Pam Bondi, addressing the growing wave of political violence in the United States. He began by recalling a personal tragedy, describing how, just a month earlier, his close friend of 10 years, a man he saw as a brother, husband, father, and leader, was assassinated during a live stream by what he called a left-wing radical. Johnson went on to recount a series of recent attacks, including the shooting of the U.S. president, the murder of a Trump supporter in front of his family, and the slaughter of Christian children praying in church. He also mentioned that federal law enforcement officers had recently come under sniper fire at a government facility. Johnson argued that these incidents are no longer isolated or extreme, but have instead become common, claiming the Democratic Party has normalized violence as a political tactic. He revealed that he himself had received a detailed death threat describing how he would be executed in an open field, with his wife widowed and his children orphaned. The speaker pointed to a Democratic candidate in Virginia, accusing him of calling for violence against Republicans, including the killing of their children. He challenged members of the Democratic Party to denounce such rhetoric, asking whether any of them would have the courage to demand that those promoting hate step down. According to Johnson, silence in the face of such actions amounts to approval. While he expressed a deep desire for peace and unity, Johnson emphasized that unity cannot exist where evil is tolerated. As a Christian, he said, it is impossible to make peace with those who wish to destroy others. He urged Americans to recognize what he described as a moral battle between good and evil, one that must be won by good. He ended his remarks by thanking federal and local law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, DOJ, and Tampa Police Department, for their rapid and professional response in protecting his family from danger. Johnson said their actions may have saved his children's lives and praised their dedication to keeping families across the nation safe. In closing, he expressed profound gratitude to the Trump administration, saying they have shown what it means to make America safe again. He urged all Americans, regardless of political affiliation, to unite around one shared goal: building a country where families can live, raise their children, and disagree peacefully under one flag.